love-hate quarterbacks. What a wink by Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I don't know. For people that are just listening to the audio of it, at the end of that quote, Kyler Murray legit winks at the reporter. Like, just doesn't feel like there's a lot of love lost between him and Cliff Kingsbury with that answer. But I thought Kyler took the high road very smartly. When you're a ride or die, that's what you do. When you're a franchise player, that's what you do. And so I cannot wait for Kyler Murray to throw 5 touchdowns in a thrilling 1-point loss to my Commanders. That's what I'm rooting for here. That's
really a collision of your world.
It really is tough for me. But I do think Kyler Murray has a monster game. He's my number 2. Very much so. Listen, he's my number 2 quarterback this week. No team has a higher implied team total in week 4 than the Arizona Cardinals. No team gives up more fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks than my Commanders. They're giving up 24.4 fantasy points per game. Every quarterback that's faced the Commanders. And that includes, by the way, Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones. Every quarterback faced the Commanders so far this year has finished as a top 7 quarterback for the week. They're 31st in pass defense. They've allowed the most passing touchdowns here. Jay, it's they're traveling on a short week. They stayed in Arizona. They went from Cincinnati straight to Arizona. They've been working out at Arizona State all week. But still, this should be a big day for Kyler Murray, for my ride or die.
What's the yards record in an NFL game? Because it has to be in play with what Kyler's going to do to this defense. The thing with the Commanders' defense, too, is I don't think there's any upside. Where's the talent?
They just don't have the talent. It's not a Dan Quinn issue.
Yeah.
They have the talent.
Right.
They missed on countless picks over the years on defense.
Ron Rivera actively decided, with Christian Gonzalez sitting there, said, you know what, give me some Emmanuel Forbes, he was a scratch last week.
Yeah. I didn't see him on the stat sheet.
Oh, no, it's awful. I mean, the cupboard is so bare from
what... You don't show up on the stat sheet when you're just looking at the ground and seeing somebody run by you all the time.
Yeah, no, exactly. I've done my Emmanuel Forbes impression to you. It's a lot of
and then the sideline's just like...
And now he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah, now he's a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, that being said, big day on tap for Kyler Murray.
Yes.
But the positive for the Commanders, big day on tap potentially for Jayden Daniels, who's coming off his best game as a pro.
It'd be nice to hear somebody else talk about Jayden Daniels on this desk.
Yeah, well, look, the thing is that the underlying stats on Jayden Daniels are even better than the actual stats in terms of EPA per play, in terms of their points per drive and how they're moving the ball. And I get that they haven't played amazing defenses, but to do this against any defense, look at what he did to the Bengals and what Patrick Mahomes the week before couldn't do to the Bengals. I think Daniels, and the criticism of Daniels has always been, one, that he takes off when he feels pressure, and then 2, that he doesn't work the middle of the field. Well, that's fine. If he's taking off when he feels pressure and running for yards, and then also we've seen what he can do with the deep bombs down the field, connecting with Terry McLaurin. He was actually working the middle of the field a bit more, I thought, against the Bengals.
I agree.
And this defense for Arizona, I mean, we're talking about the Commanders' defense and how bare the cupboard is there. It's not like the Cardinals' defense is all that much better.
They're not. Big day on tap for Jayden Daniels. And he's sliding for the first time in his life, which if they can keep him healthy, I mean, he can run away from anyone. That's the difference right here. I mean, Matthew's one of only 3 quarterbacks that have multiple 25-plus point games this season. And the company he's in is a MVP Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, who's off to a freakish start.
MVP favorite.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I had him inside my top 10 in terms of the ranks. He was on the preseason love list for a reason as well. Specific to this matchup, Arizona allows the 3rd highest passer rating to opposing quarterbacks, double-digit rush attempts in every game so far this year for Jayden Daniels. And the other thing here is that while the defense is bad for the Commanders, the defense is great for the fantasy value of Jayden Daniels because, again, we expect Kyler Murray to put up points, so Jayden Daniels is going to have to put up points. And to me, the most impressive thing about the Monday night win, and I mean, the stats are crazy, like 91% completion rate. It's all like just stupid made-up video game type stuff that you wouldn't, if you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe, right? But to me, the most impressive thing, Connor, about Jayden Daniels wasn't just that he completed a bunch of passes, but it was the types of passes. Like they converted 3rd downs, 4th downs, like multiple 4th down conversions, multiple 3rd down conversions with tough passes over the middle, hitting Ertz, hitting McLaurin, running for it. Like, you know what, I'm going to get hit, but I don't care. I'm gutting out this 1st down. And so I just think I think he's a special kid. I'm very excited about him, obviously. I have Kyler Murray at 2. I have Jayden Daniels at 3. But, wheels up for both guys today. Both guys on Sunday.
Rest of the season outlook, it's Allen, Lamar, Hurts, then Daniels? I mean, he's right there, right?
That's a good question.
I mean,
I take over Mahomes.
Yeah, but right. I don't know if I'm taking him over Murray just yet.
Sure.
No,
I mean,
no,
Murray's
no,
my
no.
ride or die, but like
Murray
he's
over.
probably top 5.
Yeah.
Like if you're redrafting today,
He's probably 5.
yeah,
That's
Which
fair
is
for his
incredible.
level.
which is unbelievable. Like, look, and my column that's out today. It's free on rotoworld.com, NBCSports.com. My love-hate column for Week 4. I'm a company man. Is about the hope that Jayden Daniels has given myself and all sorts of Commanders fans that like just this is. I texted all like my Monday night, as you can imagine, my phone was blowing up. It was just like, and the response back and forth was the same. We got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, that's all you need. Like think about the Jets fans. The Jets fans were like, oh, we're in the desert. We're in the desert. They get Aaron Rodgers. Now we got a quarterback.
Thursday night was, for some people, there's Jet fan
Yes.
kids that had never seen anything like that
Yeah.
before. And there's the same thing with younger Commanders fans.
Yeah. You're
So-
both on the beach in Zihuatanejo.
Yes.
At the end
There
of
you go.
Shawshank.
Yeah,
Not to
exactly.
spoil Shawshank Redemption for anyone who hadn't seen it. It came out in 1994. But,
Tough.
that's okay.
All right. It's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, screw you, Jay.
Yeah. I was planning on watching that one this weekend.
Darth Vader is Luke's father, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like he's
evil
ruining
human.
movies.
Evil human.
Shawshank is one of those movies that, like, if it's on in the you watch,
Every
it
time.
doesn't every
Every
time
time.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you're flipping through the channels and it's on, and you're like, oh, well, there goes the next.
Doesn't
hour and a
matter
half.
what
You know,
point it's at.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
You just keep it on. Commercials or no commercials.
It's so good.
CJ Stroud also on the love list. It's been a slow start for CJ Stroud so far, but he's got Jacksonville, Matthew, who looked truly dreadful against Josh Allen, which can happen. And Stroud's great at home, traditionally.
Traditionally really good at home. So far in his career, when he's playing at NRG Stadium, he's averaging 21 fantasy points per game. He's averaging over 300 passing yards per game. And to your point about the Jaguars' defense, Connor, they're bottom 3 in pass defense so far this year. They've given up the second most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. CJ Stroud needs to get right, and this is a get-right game for him. I'm his QB4 this week.
And also Tyson Campbell's still on IR. He's their best corner, so it's not going to get better, in my opinion, for Jacksonville. Some others receiving
Yeah.
votes here. Geno Smith, your guy, Jay.
Animal
Oh,
down,
man.
Yes,
as
sure.
opposed to bird up. It's like, cat down.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting closer.
Cat down.
Well,
Bird up.
Cat being the antonym of bird.
Yes.
essentially. Okay.
Cat down.
Cat down.
Geno Smith and Andy Dalton.
Keep pounding.
Also on the love list. For Geno Smith, QB11, Andy Dalton, QB17, more super flex viable.
I don't think people are aware of this. I feel like not enough. Maybe it's because they haven't beat anyone quote unquote real, but I think no one's talked. Seattle's 3-0, and Geno has completed over 70% of his passes in every game this year. Like he's such a good fit for Ryan Grubb's offense. Like just no one is talking about Seattle, and I don't know. Like give the Seahawks credit anyway. I'm his QB11. Geno, we've talked about this as well. I think that could be kind of a shootout against the Lions, and then. And Dalton at home against Cincinnati. Revenge game for the Red Rifle, the Red Rocket, the Red
Yes.
Dog, the Red Rooster.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, all of that
Yeah.
and above.
The Red
Yeah.
from Shawshank.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Red was very much here on the score sheet last week against the Raiders. With Geno has become, I think, the most underrated quarterback in football where, like, he had his year 2 years ago where he's comeback player of the year. He takes a little bit of a downward step last year, but he was banged up. Geno is just playing like a top 10 quarterback, like real life football, and I think that'll start manifesting itself in fantasy. He's had these 3 picks, all that were unlucky. There is a big gap between his underlying numbers, which look awesome, and then his actual numbers. But the key is that I think JSN, despite a poor week last week, he's taken a leap. He has 3 legit weapons in the passing game, and he has an offensive coordinator who's super creative and also wants to throw the ball a lot. So Geno, it wouldn't be shocked at all if Geno finishes as a top 8, top 9 quarterback.
For sure. And we know the struggles of this Bengals defense. They're on the road on a short week at Carolina. Dalton looked good last week as well. I'm as a top 20 play this week, Andy Dalton at QB17. My only question to you, Jay, is that after all the money that you've once again bet on Damar Hamlin for Comeback Player of the Year, when Andy Dalton wins it at the NFL Honors in February, what is your reaction going to be?
Can you imagine if Damar Hamlin, after losing to Joe Flacco, loses to Andy Dalton?
Does he
and
qualify?
No, he doesn't. Because
Because
he's not coming back
he's
from an
just
injury. They
been
changed the
a
rules.
backup.
They didn't change the rules. They just changed the guidelines.
Yeah, but I think-
Which
they
people
don't
don't
have-
read. People forget this. The
This
people
is
that
right.
vote do not read.
They don't read.
Yeah, I think that enough people will read it that Darnold, Fields, Dalton, these guys, they can't win. But if Andy Dalton were to win, then I'm excited for Damar Hamlin to lose next year when Mike Glennon gets off the
Yes,
couch
there you go.
and leads the Giants to the playoffs. It'd
Right.
be great.
Is it Mike Glennon or does it stay in the AFC North? Maybe it's Tim
Yeah.
Couch.
Yes.
Wow.
Jake
Throwback.
Locker comes back. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
exactly.
really good.
The hate list led by Anthony Richardson for our quarterbacks here right
See,
now.
Flacco was in Baltimore and Dalton, Cincinnati. See, I went to old AFC
Yeah,
North quarterbacks.
I'm
That's
out, yeah.
just in case anyone was wondering about the math there.
Yeah, Brady Quinn.
Yeah, there you go. Could have been Brady Quinn.
We talked earlier about how the Steelers' defense is just great. Richardson has been really struggling for the most part of this season, Matthew, and that's the matchup he gets handed this week.
He has yet to have a game with a completion ratio over 50%. Pittsburgh has yet to allow a quarterback to score double fantasy points this year, and that includes Kirk Cousins. I have him outside my top 12 this week, and Aaron Rodgers of your New York Jets also makes the hate list this well. Look, third lowest game total in Week 4, 38.5 over under. Denver second in pass defense, sixth in scoring defense, and because the Jets defense is so good, I don't think they're going to have to score a lot of points in this game. Feels like it's a lot of run game in the second half. Rodgers isn't going to have to do much to beat them, so also outside my top 12 for the week.
They do hate Sean Payton, though.
Oh, you know what? I might have screwed up.
They have to protect him, so I don't think he'll be taking 7-step drops up 30 points throwing, but boy, do they hate Sean Payton.
You know what? I hadn't thought about that by putting Aaron Rodgers on the hate list. This is the Nathaniel Hackett
They
revenge
beat him last
game
year, but it's Hackett's revenge game now with his
with
best
Rodgers,
weapon.
with his guy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
You might be right.
I'm
There might
curious
be some cheap. There might be some cheap. Aaron Rodgers
We'll
FU
see.
touchdowns.
We'll
Just
see.
to
Yeah,
I might take off Aaron Rodgers on the hate list. By the way, asterisk there. I might have screwed this one up, guys. I hadn't thought about that. I'm just, boy, I might have screwed that one up. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.